Greetings, Goddess, Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is Tyra Olafemi, your Goddess Guru, here to share a word of inspiration to assist you on your path to self-mastery, knowing the fullness of who and what you are, and, self-realization, knowing the fullness of who and what you are, as well as self-mastery. You want to master your gifts, your talents, your life lessons. Because once we begin to operate from the true knowledge of ourselves, then we are able to really just live a life that flows, that feels good, where we feel purposeful, where we feel productive. And so self-mastery is oftentimes an inevitable result of knowing the truth of who and what you are, because you start living in a way that allows you to go beyond your limits, and limits are set. And so, it's just neat to come here, experience limits, and then move beyond them. So, this video is, for me, personal, to a certain degree, but to a large extent, is to help others who are struggling with their spirituality in a way that where you might feel like an outcast, or you might feel different in a way that it sort of stands out. I was born here in the United States of America. This is really all I know. What I learn about other places is oftentimes because I meet someone from some other place, or I read about other cultures. But this is what I know. The United States of America. I know this the best. So I know not every place is this way, and where my thing may be religion, for someone else it may be something else. I think about my friends who are homosexual. I just don't believe that. There's no moral issue for me when it comes to homosexuality. But people who are homosexual, and you're raised up in a place where it's not acceptable, and that's not every place in the world. That's part of my peace with it. But it's just not a big deal, And same with religion, In some places, I was told, in a place like India, everyone's everything. No biggie. It's no tripping, For some people, it may be their career. What they do, their line of work, especially if it's a calling. I'm not talking about those careers that we might fall back on just to make a buck to survive, okay? I'm talking about certified, bona fide calling, and, where you're from is not fully acceptable. It is time for us to defy whatever it is, because the bottom line is we all come here with a purpose. We come here to learn certain lessons. And so for those who are watching this video because you feel different, and for me, I'm going to largely talk about spirituality because that's the hot topic for me in my own life. But no matter how you are different, the bottom line is this. We cannot accept people's limits of us. It's just sort of like their problem. That's a message that I think is very important when you are different. And it's not really that we're different. It's not really that we're different. We just are. Okay? We just are. But I'll say different because that's usually the contrast is what starts making people look at you like, what are you doing? You're not doing it like everyone else. Well, it's my calling, it's my life, it's your calling, it's your life, and so I encourage you. I don't believe that we have one lifetime. I subscribe to having multiple lifetimes or other lifetimes, whatever, but I only get this one once. I will only get this one once, so why not just go on ahead and do this thing up big? So for me, what I want to talk about for those who are I'll just talk about it because maybe people are watching this video who are trying to understand their loved one who is venturing out on something that's spiritually different. They're not comfortable with it. this video is for anyone who can use this information. So what I like about my spirituality, and the way I'll describe my spirituality, is I just believe in the higher divine power. I believe there are many paths, one truth. I did not coin that. I got that from my spiritual teachers, Iya Oshinike and Baba G. Kolioso. Many paths, one truth. It just matches how I have always seen things. I was raised up Christian, not really any one denomination until I was 10. And so that helped to keep me from getting locked into like one type of Christian religion being the same, you know, like the one for me. And then I went into Catholicism because that's what my parents said, that's what we're going to do. We're Catholic. And so, you know, that was my religion growing up. And while I was a kid, this did not start early on. While I was a kid, I knew some kind of way I had a different spiritual philosophy. But when you don't live with people who know how to help you articulate it, and I'm very easygoing in my personality, I don't want people to dislike me. As a little girl, I never would do or say anything that would cause friction. If I did, I would immediately do whatever it took to get rid of it, which would be say I believe one way when really I'm only doing it just so that, you know, people love me and care about me. And so, you know, as a girl, I already was like, I just don't know. It's certain things that they teach me back in the day. I don't know what they've taught everyone but me. That I just said, I don't know. That's not me. I don't believe that. One of the things I said was, I just don't believe there's a hell. All my friends were like, are you crazy? You know there's a hell. We were taught there's a hell. And I was like, I just don't believe in hell. I don't believe, this is me as a teenager. I don't believe God would send anyone to hell because God understands what's going on with us. Why would God send us to hell? Because, you know, God already knows. We are struggling with figuring this thing out. And so, you know, you talk to your friends. You don't talk to the adults about it. At least I didn't when I was a kid. And then I knew something was wrong because I never could be happy at any church. I would find happiness for a little while, but I never could be happy. I left Catholicism once I started dating my husband. Well, no, before I just dated my husband, I had a friend who was going to this Baptist church. And I love Black Baptist Church. It's lively. I love all that singing and all that shouting. That was just me. You know, Catholicism is quiet. And I like that about Catholicism too. Once I got into the Black Baptist Church, sometimes I'm like, oh, sometimes I just want to come to church and be quiet. I don't want all this noise all the time. So I appreciate both, but I really was like, oh, I love this Black Baptist. And I was even scared when I started going because I was raised up in this quiet Catholic church. Even though I had seen shouting as a child, I didn't stay in it long enough because, you know, Black Baptist church, and then I went to Methodist, then I went to Catholic. So I just progressively got quieter and quieter at church. So once I started going into the Black Baptist church experience, I was even afraid, like, you know, within Christianity. Well, after a while, I started wondering, who am I? What am I? I don't know if I believe any of this. You know, it was in me. Okay, it was in me, and more than likely, it's in you. And so, why are we gonna sit up here? I'm not feeling bad about it anymore. That's really the point of this video, is to help people not feel bad about who and what they are. So, you know, once I finally just said, I'm going to seek the truth. I'm not wearing a religion. And I just started going on my own independent investigation for truth. I did not make that up. I got that from Iyanla Van Zandt. I thought, that's great advice. Let me just go on my own. Let me just ditch a title, ditch a religion, and let me just investigate. Fast forward to today. So what I love about my spirituality is I do, in fact, get to look at religions from around the world. I get to look at philosophies. You know, not everyone has a religion. Some people would call themselves agnostic. Some people would call themselves, atheists. I've even taken time to see. I haven't gotten too deep into this because I'm very energetically sensitive. But just to sort of ponder, really, what do Satanists? I'm like, what really? I mean, like, what are they doing? What is that really, you know? And just to kind of give you my view, I'm not saying I'm correct, and it doesn't really matter in the end what I think. I just feel like Satanists are more into the absence of light. And so, therefore, part of the reason I wanted to investigate this, because I'm not going to be afraid of Satanists, okay? I'm not going to be afraid of nobody or nothing, no religious philosophy, nothing. And that's one of the things that I'll say about every religion. I don't care what your religion is. This is a hard lesson I had to learn. Because, of course, I'm coming from what I can perceive to be a lot of judgmental Christians. Well, when you start looking at the Buddhist world, it's the same thing. You look at Hindus. You look at, African traditional spirituality. You know, I'm like, I'm going home. I'm going to Africa for my religion. No. Dogma. In all the religions have people who are teaching, living, and just really throwing around dogma. There's so much mind control in every religion. They just want to control people. There's no one religion that's free of it. I mean, even like, you know, my goddess circles. You know, I go into these places and it's just like, you know, people bring in to me their woundedness. They bring into spirituality. They're crazy. And they call it religion. And they want to impose it and control people. And all of it. Okay? That's one thing I like about my religion. I like that I'm exposed to so many different spiritual traditions because it forces me to respect everybody. Because all the pure part of those religions are truth. They have truth in them. But it makes me respect religions because I know they're not all, there's not one that's perfect. Not one. Not in the way it's channeled through man and woman. They're all flawed. When we really start putting humans in the mix, they're all flawed. Okay? So, that's one thing I want to say. I really like that. For me, I can step outside of it all. That's one thing I like about not subscribing to any one religion. Okay? My religion, if I had to put a title on it, it's called self-realization. I need to know who I am, and I need to operate from that place. When a person operates from a place of knowing who they are because they are being taught the truth of who and what they are going to do good works. That is just how it is. And so, you know, it's like, yeah, okay. Whatever, you know, how some people are part of religion and it's all this arguing going on between like this kind of Muslim and that Muslim. You know, they're doing these two different forms and versions of Islam. They're arguing back and forth about, no, this is right. No, that's not right. This is right. I don't have to do all that. I like that about what I'm doing. The other thing I want to say is that seemed like there was more I wanted to say. I've just been pondering. Oh, I got it. Another thing that inspired my making this video is I just don't feel the need for everyone to be like me. I'm going to be honest with you. If you watch this video, I don't care about your religion or your spirituality. I do wish you happiness. I believe all is one. I believe there's one great divine consciousness, and we all emanate and project out from that consciousness. So ultimately, you are me and I am you. I would never wish anything bad on you. And if I do, shame on me. I'm operating from a place of meanness and lack and limitation. If I'm wishing something bad on you, shame on me, because I am wishing something bad on myself. Okay? But in the end, I wish you happiness. I don't care how you find your happiness. I don't care if you believe in God. I don't care, okay? But I tell you what, it's a lot of people out there who do care what I believe, what you believe, what they believe, and over there, and I mean, and it's not just one religion that's like this. Not all religions are going out trying to recruit people to be a part of their religion, but believe you me, there are a lot of people in all these religions around the world that feel like their religion is the religion for humanity. And if you are not like them, and for me, I deal with a lot of Christians. I don't deal with a lot of anybody else, but I have experienced this from multiple religions. That if you are not doing what they're doing, somehow if I'm not doing what they're doing, somehow what I'm doing is wrong. That's some bullcrap, okay? So I think to myself, think before you talk to somebody about your religion. Number one, if I don't ask you about your religion, don't tell me about it, okay? If I don't ask you, don't tell me, especially if you're trying to tell me because you think you got something that can help me. Don't pray for me because you think somehow I might be going to hell. I'm on the wrong path. Don't judge me if I don't chant like you, if I got a different chant, okay? Don't judge me if the name I call the divine creator isn't the same as the name that you use. I think that is so rude because if people really think about how much they think their religion is the religion for everybody, they would wonder, well, I mean, like, if I came and said, well, my religion is, or my lack of religion, just being spiritual, it really is the way for everybody. And I'm going to do what I can to get you to see that your religion is really not quite right for you. It's really not quite right for you. That's offensive, okay? I would never disrespect anybody in that way, okay? Many paths, one truth. It's too many of us on the face of the planet to have one religion. These religions have popped up and developed within cultures that had nothing to do with other cultures at that time. Different languages and different expressions. I've been reading an article by a traditional African priest, and he was talking about how that particular religion, Ifa, is based on trees. And how, I mean, like, what other religion has a tree-based religion? Like, trees are that important to the religion. You got to understand Ifa to understand what I'm saying, but just pay attention to the example that I'm using. This religion, in this religion, trees are very important. Oh, okay. That doesn't mean a whole lot to people that primarily see the sand and ocean. I mean, I got to try to get the people who see the sand and the ocean the most. They may not be seeing a whole bunch of trees and forests. To really conceptualize this religion that's based on trees. What? Are you kidding me? Okay? So, there's not going to be one religion for the entire world. What if we got to pick a religion? How about we pick love? Can that be our religion? Okay. So, if you're the one that's different and people are trying to impose their ways on you, my thing is keep practicing your religion, keep practicing your spirituality to the best of your ability. Use your spiritual path to grow you. I don't care if you're part of a religion. I'm not seeking for people who are like me. I'm saying, for instance, maybe you were raised Hindu and now you want to be Buddhist. And your Hindu family is just like, no, you cannot do that. Do your Buddhist thing. You know, that's a prescribed religion or whatever. Do your Buddhist thing. Do it to the best of your ability. The more you do you spiritually, what will end up happening is you don't even hear the chatter. Or, like for me, I'm about 15 years into just saying, I've got to answer this inside of me. It's something calling me. And I'm now at this point, I do get upset a little bit when people are like, oh, really? That's how you are spiritually? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pray for you. What? Mostly though, what I do is I just say, you know what, that's where they are. It does not have anything to do with me. I just get to that point where I almost don't even hear it. I mean, they have to say it so directly to me. I almost don't even hear it. And so you just have to keep doing your thing. I'm at this point now where I'm just looking for the people who are vibrationally seeing things the way that I am. I'm not going to argue with people that don't see things. My godfather, my teacher says, why two people that have made up their mind they're right going to argue? They're not going to change their mind. Don't argue. Okay? If you are watching this video and you're trying to understand your loved one, you really disagree with your loved one's religion, in the end, this is for everybody actually, in the end, yeah, let me tell you something, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. In the end, at the end of the day, what matters is that we came here, that we loved, that we were able to do some positive things together, that we had a positive experience. Why should we ruin it with a bunch of negativity, judgment? Do you want your loved one to change you? I know a lot of people who are in my position who would prefer their loved one to not be a part of religion. What? Live and let live. Let people do their thing. Is their religion growing them? If it's causing them to shrink, you know what? You can just hold the space for them to be happy. That's my big thing. I just want people to be happy, you know? And when people are truly not happy, after a while, they wake up. Because being unhappy, most of us, we're going to try to do something to fix that, okay? And so, you know, I just wanted to put that out there. Just processing. I don't know who needs this. I wish somebody had made videos like this for me. I have been fortunate enough to find people. But I just encourage people to not walk in fear. Don't walk in fear if you're different. And don't be fearful if your loved one is different. Everyone chill out. It's not a big deal. And like I said, I'm here and my friend doesn't like the term Bible Belt, but that's where I live. Bible Belt, USA. And I'm just like, you know, it may not be like this every place. But if you live someplace, because I've heard over in other places, Islam is running the show. If you're not Muslim, you're nobody. I think in other parts of the world, if you're not Catholic, you're no good. All this Buddhism, yoga, it's all these different yogic philosophies. People will say that's not even a religion, but guess what? It's damn near close to one. We all just need to stop. Chill out. Mind your business, okay? Mind your business. Fix you. And trust that the rest of the world is going to be okay. Because the bottom line is, what the great divine can do for us far, far exceeds what any human can do. And so, yeah, you just need to worry about yourself. And if you're the one that's different, worry about yourself. Don't be worried about all that. Just let it go. Don't worry about it. Do not stunt your growth because you're missing out. When you cry, Mama and Daddy, they don't accept it. My spouse doesn't accept it. My children don't accept it. Do you accept it? Do you want to be happy? Do your thing. This is Tara LaFamie, the Goddess Guru. Hoping that this message will help liberate somebody, no matter which side of the fence you're on. Somebody's got to speak up and tell everybody, just chill out, work on your own self, and we're going to be just fine. You have a wonderful day full of peace, love, and happiness.